today off. Later on today, this afternoon, I will be going up to Dazed at Chicago, and that is going to be very fun because I'm going to go ahead and meet both John Shepard and Dick Wayne for Friday the 13th Part 5. It is a mini Part 5 reunion. Melanie Kinnaman is also there, who played Pam. We were supposed to have Shavar Ross, who was Reggie the Reckless. He had canceled out. Uh, you know, uh, Things like that do happen. Sometimes, I mean, maybe they got ill, or maybe they had other things that came up with like filming scheduling. I know the other person that did cancel out was Emily Perkins, who played the young Beverly Marsh in the 1990 It miniseries. Uh, but without further ado, that is what I'm going to have going on for today. Um, I did get a new T-shirt from Gutter Garbs. It just came in today. I'm not gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear this. I'll probably wear that. I'll wear this one. I'm gonna show you what it is. It's something Friday the 13th related, but also Nightmare on the Street, Freddy versus Jason, Place Your Bets, all that. This, if you guys have seen the film, you know exactly what the scene is. It is actually the first battle between Freddy and Jason, and Freddy's dream world right there. So there you go. Definitely nice. This is from Gutter Garbs. I do have a Friday the 13th Part 5 40th anniversary art print that is coming. It's 12 by 18. That'll be coming too. And then I'm looking forward to Friday, June 13th, what Gutter Garbs is actually going to do with their Friday the 13th stuff. So yeah, this is a really cool shirt. Really love it. I love the film, as silly and goofy as it is. I just love the film. It's a great watch, especially like on a day like today, which I'm off, or on the weekends when I'm off. I mean, I like to watch stuff like that. It's pretty fun. So what this is just gonna be a little bit of a random chat that I got going on here. Really nothing much new, nothing new at all, other than tomorrow night at 6 p.m. we are going to be doing my live discussion of April Fool's Day from 1986. I did not write any notes down, so what I'm going to do is go by my memory, which I got a good memory of the film, and we'll be talking about different things and whatnot, and just the whole 9 hours, and we're just going to have tons of fun with it. So yeah, bottle of water, gotta have that. We probably can talk about conventions. Let's talk about a convention. If you've never been to a convention, what to expect. Make sure, if you're bringing stuff, make sure you got a book bag. Now, I got this because I got tired of carrying my 11 by 17 inch portfolio, which I take my 11 by 17 inch posters in, right? So I found this on Amazon, bought it, and and I did show this off one at a time. My portfolio is in here, okay? And as you can see, there it is. Fits right in there. My hands are gonna be free. That's one of the things you got to think too. Like, mini posters like the 11 by 17s are very good because you don't have to roll them up. You just get an 11 by 17 inch portfolio and then you're all set. I would probably suggest getting something like this. This is actually in Aislinn. If you guys can see that way. Bring good shoes. Wear good shoes. I know Justin Pizzell has, I think, talked about what it's like to go to conventions. Unfortunately, you are going to smell body odor from other people. I was actually in a line for Nancy Stephens, who played Nurse Chambers in Halloween 1, 2, H2O. She was also in the Halloween Kills. We had a couple behind us. I know the guy from the last convention I was at, because he had a big canoe. He was getting ready for Friday the 13th to sign it. I don't know if it was his girlfriend or what, but I mean, it almost smelled like someone shit their pants. I pardon my language on there, but yeah, you are going to smell body odor when you go to these things. Some people just need to learn how to take hygiene. I know Justin Pizzell has talked about that too. I always, I always, keep myself clean. I mean, I always wear extra deodorant. I mean, you're gonna see. I mean, you're gonna see things that you're gonna be like, whoa, wait a minute, this is so cool. But besides, like the whole body odor thing, that's pretty much the only thing that would be the negative side of the convention. I think the other thing would be like, say if you're gonna meet your favorite celebrity, don't expect too much because sometimes when you meet some of these celebrities, some of them, not all of them. So far, I've been lucky. Tom Savini, when I met him last November, he was very, very quiet. So, um, you know, that's some things that some people gotta expect because a buddy of mine that went with me. I went with my buddy of mine to Days of Dead. This was in November, I believe, that Savini was at. So he looked at me after he met Savini, like after we got together, and he was like, he didn't say much. And I looked at my friend, looked at Bob, and I told him, I said, Bob, I've heard two different stories through YouTube. Yes, he is nice to meet. Sometimes he doesn't say much, nothing to the fans. And this was the Savini that we got. So, you want to go in to these conventions, you don't know what you're going to expect. So, when I met Rebecca Gayheart, I was hoping, please, 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 be nice. I mean, be nice. Don't be, belligerent. Some of these celebrities, they're not belligerent, but you just never know what you're gonna get with them. The other thing is that you gotta be, you just never know what you're gonna, like I said, you just never know what you're gonna run into. But with Rebecca Gayheart, she was really, really nice. It was just fun meeting her. Um, yeah, you want to bring good shoes too because you're going to be walking around a lot. Now the horror conventions, and I gotta watch how I say that. But these horror conventions, you are going to be they're a bit smaller. They're not like Comic Con size. So when you go into these things, you're going to be walking a lot. Now, the Comic Cons are very, very different. I mean, they're big, they're gigantic, they're huge. You're going to be walking around a lot, but make sure you have good shoes, have good soles in them. Because if you don't have ones that have good soles in them, you're going to be the soles of your feet are going to be hurting like hell. Okay, that's one thing. You just gotta watch out for. And another thing is with money. Now, money, and I've talked about this many, many times. I've even talked about this on my Facebook Lives and stuff like that. Do not blow a ton of money on a lot of this. Bring a certain amount. And like with me, when I bring a certain amount, and I always walk out with money. Now, I've heard stories that people would bring 500, 600 bucks and to these conventions, and they walk out of the convention with no money left over, and that is, that's on them. I'm not saying not to do that, but I would always say just be smart with your money because everybody's got bills to pay. You got repairs on your vehicle and stuff like that you have to have done. You just never know what's going to happen, where you're going to need money. But just always think, especially when you go to them, make sure it's celebrities that you want to meet, Now, Dick Wayne was back at Flashback Weekend a couple years ago when I went. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough to meet everybody from the Part 5 mini reunion that they had back then. I mean, I met Melanie Kinnaman, I met Deborah Voorhees, and I met the late Carol Locktell. But this time I get to meet Dick Wayne today, and then John Shepard for the very first time. So John Shepard is a very, very guest. I'm really excited about meeting him as well. I had just watched Friday the 13th Part 5. I finished watching it last night near the end of my shift at work. And I got to tell you, I mean, that movie came out in 85. And 85 was a good year for movies because you had, Back to the Future, you had Breakfast Club, you had... I'm trying to look at my room. I got posters in my room here. You had Nightmare on Elm Street 2. You had, you name it, man. I mean, you had quite a few of them that came out in that year, and it's just, it's amazing. It really is. So, yeah, I mean, you know, with rare guests like that, I wasn't gonna go to this convention this time around, but when I saw that they were having a mini Part Five reunion and they had John Shepard, and then they originally were gonna have Cheryl Ross there, I was like, yeah, man, I'm in. You know, I gotta go, man. I gotta get them on my Part Five because I got 3 on there. I'll have 2 today, and then that means I got 5 people on my Part Five poster, which is all packed up in my portfolio here. Um, you know, it is perfectly, the way I look at it, now I've had things personally signed personally to me, uh, personalized. You know, that's what they call it, personalized, to your name, and then. But now I've been getting them like for my Scream stuff. I've been getting them non-personalized because with non-personalization, if you want to go ahead and sell these autographs, you can get a ton of money for them. Usually at a good price if they're certified. And going to these conventions, when you get the signatures on them, there's no JSA or Beckett. But now they're actually now they're actually having the Beckett employees, or not Beckett employees, but the JSA employees come there. So I could probably bring my Part 2 poster Friday the 13th that's hanging on the wall right up there, as you guys can see. I could probably bring that in there. I think it's like $10 to have everything JSA certified. I think they go by the celebrity that signed it. So there's like 10 of them on there. So that might be a thought one day in the future doing something like that. But like everything I've gotten, like from Dark Parlor Originals, Minton Authentics, I've done some high spot auction stuff, which is they deal with wrestlers and stuff. All that's JSA or Beckett certified. It comes with the price. It's automatic. You can basically go ahead and say you don't want it certified, but that'd be kind of, I don't know if I would do that, because if you go to try to sell it, people are not going to believe that it was that person that signed it, unless it's got the certificate of authenticity. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of that stuff too. There's a lot of places where you can get your autographs and stuff, guys. You can go ahead, like I said, Dark Parlor Originals, Minton, I think that's how I'm saying it, Minton Authentics, Zombie, which I've yet to try out. I know they're doing stuff for Steel City Comic Con. They're doing stuff for Huntsville Comic Convention, whatever that is, in April. GalaxyCon online, they're doing stuff like that. Some of it can be pricey, but hey, it depends on, like if I do stuff online, I buy from one person. Like they got Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane, from the WWE Hall of Famer. I believe Dark Parlor just announced him, and his signing isn't until I think June. So I'm gonna definitely hit up on that. It's like $69.99, I believe. And then there's OC Celebrity Marking, which I did pre-order an autograph from Arlie Lehman, an 8x10 of him as young Jason. I am also meeting him in May for Nightmare Weekend as well. So that'll be really exciting to meet the first Jason. And that's exactly what his band is the first Jason. And then of course Sean Cunningham, the director of the first film, which I think is going to be a blast. Not to mention too, Neve Campbell's having a private signing of both Minton Authentics and Dark Parlor, which I'm gonna get my pre-order in here next month. I got an 8x10 photo that I would like to get, and that's the one with her in Scream 4 when she's in the kitchen with a knife and she's just looking around like that and stuff like that. That'd be a really cool one. I love her in the first one. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saving that my Scream 1 poster for when I meet her in person at one of these conventions one of these days in Chicago. So, yeah. Bring snacks too. Bring snacks. Depending on how long you're going to be there. Now, you do, like I said, with these conventions, for people that have never been to one of these, or it's going to be the first time, You have the option to go to one day, which is which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Um, Sometimes there's like Comic Cons that start from Thursday through Sunday. You can go one. You can go one of those days, or you can do the whole weekend thing, which you're spending a lot of money. You're spending money for a hotel, spending money for food and stuff like that. But to me, when you go to a convention, you basically see everything all in one day pretty much, unless they have like special screenings of a movie, if they have a reunion, or for like the after party show, which they usually have like on a Friday or Saturday night. I know I've been asked a couple times if I was gonna go, for like the after party, and I said no, we're only here for like one day, and that was it. I'll never forget when Tracy Savage, it was at what the convention was. It wasn't Flashback. It was Days of the Dead, I believe. It was Days of the Dead. Tracy Savage got there very, very late. She was the only one from part 3 that wasn't there. She didn't come until close to 9:30 at night. Stacy Lee, who was actually her agent, she's got like a ton of the Friday the 13th people. Very, very nice lady and everything else. She had talked to us, and she even remembered who I was, which I thought was amazing, because I talked to her here on Facebook and stuff when they had posted like either on Flashback or Days of the Dead, Friday the 13th guest that is coming. I've always comment on that. I said, "Oh, this is really cool. This is really exciting." So so I had talked to her, and we paid. We started making a makeshift line. I'm telling you this really cool story there. We started making a makeshift line for Tracy Savage's table before she got there. It was funny because Larry Zerner came up. He looked at us. He said, you guys don't have to stand here. That." I think he was just getting kind of antsy. It was funny, and then we got David Cadence, who played Chuck, would come up and talk to us from time to time while we were standing there waiting. And if you guys can look back in my video shorts, I don't know if they delete video shorts on YouTube once you upload them, but I did get a video short of when Tracy Savage did come in to the dealer's room, walking in there, and you get Larry Zerner saying, "Tracy Savage, ladies and gentlemen," And I did get to see 2 movies over last weekend that she was in. The one was called The Bone Garden. It has her. She's in the lead role of Tracy Savage. It has her, Paul Kracker, who plays her husband in the film, and then it has Ron Milkey, Officer Dorf from the original film. Really good film. I was kind of, I was excited because, seeing both Paul Kracker and Tracy Savage in this, it was like kind of cool because we haven't seen them together in a film since Friday the 13th Part 3, because they didn't really do anything after that film. Of course, Tracy had a career in journalism and stuff. She covered the O.J. Simpson trial. But the ending to Bone Garden was kind of crazy, kind of wild. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it. And then I finally seen 13 Fanboy. Now that was a really, really cool film, and I'm going to discuss it. It's like along the lines of Wes Craven's New Nightmare, but I actually think it's way better than that. And I'm not a really big Nightmare on Elm Street fan. I don't like the first 2 films. I'll give Dream Warriors a 50-50 on it, because then that's when they started, putting the comedic elements in it, and stuff like that. So, it's, when we met, like I said, when we met Tracy, she came around, walked around, thanked everybody for waiting and stuff like that, and they were supposed to do a photo op Friday night, and they didn't, because us dedicated fans were standing in line waiting for her to arrive from the airport. So, I mean, that was really exciting. I was almost telling my half-brother, I said, "Hey, we better come back Saturday." He said, "No, I'm not going to come up back from pay," which it made sense, but it was pretty much near almost closing time when she got in there. It was like 9:30, and I believe on Friday night they do the signings and stuff from 5 to 10. So we were that lucky to have met her. I mean, I was like, I would have been bummed out. I'm like, wow. I know Dana Kimball just came back from a long hiatus from doing conventions. I believe she was she had been absent from doing conventions for 13 years. I didn't know that. She just did. I forgot which one it was. I know Johnny Horror had a whole bunch of things that he had signed, that he had her sign for other people, because he does like consignments and stuff too. And I had to get a hold of him and find out, how you get like autographs through his business and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Trey. The only one that we're actually missing for Friday Part 3 on the poster that has done conventions is Dana Kimball, Catherine Parks, who plays Vera, Kevin O'Brien, who was Loco, the one of the bikers, and then Paul. Of course, Paul Crack is what I'm missing on there. So then I'm only missing 4 on my Part 3 poster. So hopefully, you never know. You never know. We might get them. We might eventually, but we'll have to wait and see. I know Catherine Parks is very, very rare, but you know, like with John Shepard here, very, very rare. I mean, how often does he do conventions? Not too often, from what I know. I mean, he has done a couple of them, but not too many. Yeah. You could possibly be waiting in long lines. That's another thing. I know Linda Blair. I've never met her, but I've heard it's been like a 3-hour wait for her in a line. I know when I was with my brother up in Horror Hound, Indianapolis. I don't think they have Horror Hound in Indianapolis anymore, but Corey Feldman's line was ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. We had to go out in the courtyard and wait because they were doing the VIPs first, and then we go ahead and basically. We're waiting out there, and then it was like a 3-hour wait, and he had to get up and go to the bathroom, and we're wondering what's going on. And we get up there. I had this one VIP guy, very, very weird looking, had a baseball bag full of stuff that he wanted signed, right? I look at him, and I'm looking at him, and I look at the bag, and he looks at me, and just very, very ignorantly says, "What?" And I'm like, my Hepro's on this side of me, on this side, right next to me. And I looked at the guy. I says nothing. I says that stuff's pretty cool. And I'm like, first response you're gonna give to an unknown person, an unknown fan member is what? I mean, what? I mean, why? I mean, but you are gonna probably run into some ignorant people at some of these too, just to be a little bit. We were up against the table. We had our spot. You know how when they have like the post with the roped off area. Well, me and my brother were beyond that, and we were up against a table where you can select your photos for Corey Feldman, right? And this guy comes up. It's the same guy currently talking about. He was wanting to cut in front of us, and the volunteer says, "You can cut in front of the people that are behind here or in the roped off area, but you can't cut in front of the people that are." Right along the table with the autographs, which I thought was really, really cool. But then when he got up there, it was kind of ridiculous how he got up there. But he was like, I guess he knows the celebrities, or he does something with the celebrities and whatnot. But to talk to another fan that way, it was I could have exchanged some words with him, but it wasn't worth my time because I'm there to have a good time, But just be aware that you might run into some ignorant fans out there. I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, I remember when I was at Indianapolis Comic Con to meet, what's his name? That played Zach, the original Black Ranger, Walter Jones. I had people cutting through the line to get through the other side to get to where they got to go. I had this one young woman look at me, and she kind of looked at me with a mean grin. It's like, "Excuse me," like that. I'm like, whoa, I mean, I'm in line for Walter Jones, I mean, go around. I got other people behind me, I mean, for crying out loud. But yeah, you're going to run into that. You're going to run into ignorant people. I mean, but another thing is, too, if you're going to film, like, I'm not really going to film in there today, possibly. I mean, I'm there to enjoy the experience, but I know people like to film. But there are 2 celebrities that I do know that don't like being filmed at their table, and I know one of them is Serena Vincent, because I've seen some YouTube videos of her not liking that idea, and either her agent or the volunteer would tell them to show up the camera. And then I noticed that Lisa Zane does not like being filmed at her table. Billy Zane's sister, Lisa Zane, who was Maggie from Freddy's Dead Final Nightmare. I know she doesn't like being filmed at her table, but that would not be my intention to film a celebrity
I'm there to have a good time. I would not want to have them on camera and them say, hey, shut it off, because I want to make a good expression as a fan versus filming them. But, you know, if you can get like a selfie at their table, of course, most of the time these days you have to pay for the selfie on top of the autograph, but very, very rare. I mean, remember back when I did this convention stuff in 2013, started doing them, the autographs were a little cheaper, and every every somebody I met, the selfie was free. So, just going to that too, about that too. Just I mean, you can film in there. It depends. I know some convention runners don't like that. I know. I believe it was it was Flash Break Weekend when we had the Christine car there, and they had fans taking pictures of it, and people that were that actually owned it or gardened it said, "No pictures, no pictures, no pictures," and I can see their point. I mean, I can actually see their point, but what is the difference anyway? Because like even with the celebrities being filmed at their table, what is the difference because you're being filmed for your Q&A? Doesn't make any sense, but I want to respect every celebrity that's there, the ones that I'm meeting, because I don't want to make them feel awkward or pissed off and whatnot. But there are people out there. Congratulations to you to have the guts to go in there and just film everything. I know a couple of them. I know two buddies of mine who I've never met in person, but they live up in the Chicagoland area, Bat Rican and Sean Cody. They're going to be at, they asked me if I was going to be at Days of the Dead. I says, yes, I'm going Friday. Of course, they don't go Fridays because, their schedule, because they work during the weekday like I do. But hopefully one of these times I'll be able to meet those guys at a convention on a Saturday sometime down the road. As for, conventions too, the vendors and stuff, I mean, they have some pretty cool vendors. I mean, don't get me wrong. As you can see in my room, I don't have any more room for anything. I'm getting in the autograph. I'm actually an autograph collector, I do that type of thing. That's one of my hobbies. My other hobby is basically, outdoors, kayaking, hiking, all that good stuff. Of course, come here on YouTube, do some fun stuff here. Mainly talk about movies. Not doing too much gaming, too much on live streaming too much anymore, because I mean I actually like it better to be on camera, talk about stuff that I like, interact with other YouTubers in the horror or movie community, stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't have all the time to play games, like 6 hours a day. I mean, that's why I like a lot of the fighting games. I mean, it's very, very easy, very, very quick, and boom. I know I was streaming Resident Evil 4 Remake. I got to get back into playing that for you guys, live stream on here where I left off at. And I know for PlayStation Plus, because I'm a PlayStation Plus member, next month, April, they got three games, and they have free games every month. And the three are, it's a Digimon game, which I'm not going to download, and then they got RoboCop Rogue City, which I will download, and then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, which, that's by Gun Media. I've heard a couple things about Gun Media. I know Gun Media, it wasn't their fault what happened with the Friday the 13th game, but because of the writers, because of what, I guess with Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller, the lawsuit between the two of them, who owns what and stuff like that. But with that, with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, I'm going to play it. I'll probably live stream it or something like that, and then I'll give you guys my potential thoughts of what I actually really think of the game. I'm not paying for it. I mean, I'm paying for PlayStation Plus. If the game's free, why not try it out? But it's going to be a dead game eventually because it's only online play. So I think it would be better. I think it would be better if it was a single player game. I think it would be a lot better. I'm really interested to see what this next Halloween game they got. I got the one with the Evil Dead game on it. That is really, really cool. I haven't played that in a while, but it's a regular 2D game. I just found out last night that they got a new beat 'em up game that's gonna be coming out later on this holiday season, which is Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which has got a couple of the Marvel superheroes. It's gonna have 15 playable characters. Hopefully Thor is one of them. I've seen the gameplay. It's got Captain America. It's got Storm in her Jim Lee costume, the white costume, stuff like that. I mean, just some good stuff. I mean, like I said, that's one thing I have not really done too often is live stream my games too often. I know I have a lot of subscribers on here that probably had subscribed to my channel because of me playing live stream games, but I'm more into like the movie stuff. I like talking about that, like getting involved with the community. Uh, I'm not very big in the community. I got like I think right now I just got a new subscriber yesterday, so I'm up to 204 subscribers. That's the most I've ever had. So that's just it with that thing. Um, I might do a couple of. I've thought about it. Once I get the Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X 4K from Arrow Video here in May, possibly doing a live stream commentary on that, what I think about it, or I can just wait and just do the talk about it here, like live stream what I'm doing like right now. So we can do it. I can do it either way. I can sit down there and watch it and do a live stream commentary with that. I mean, I've seen a lot with like flat pop culture, horror. I've seen a lot of live streams being done like with Craving Something Scary. I mean, you name it. Just some good stuff. Just some good stuff. But yeah, I mean, kayaking season is coming up. I wish I had gotten up. I wish I had gotten up a little bit earlier, but it's a little bit windy now. But I'm gonna try to see about tomorrow going out kayaking. It says it's supposed to be like a 30% chance of rain, but we'll see. But one thing I don't want to do is take the kayak out and it's windy like this. And even though I got strapped down with NRS straps, I'm just looking out the window here. I got the window like a little bit, the drape pulled open. I can see my neighbor's house and just hearing the wind and stuff. But I don't know how well the NSR straps will hold up in heavy winds like this with a kayak strapped to my car. Yeah, I'd be glad to get out in the water, get out and try my new paddles that I got. Just some fun stuff. A lot of nature stuff. You guys have already seen that. I uploaded quite a few videos already last week. And, if you look back here, I'm actually sitting like in the corner of the room. I'm dead center in the room. I'm in the middle of the room, but I'm sitting corner. Because what I wanted to do is have a really cool backdrop. Now, if I would have sat this way, which I did one video like that, you don't get to see all this cool stuff. But you get to see, you got the 5-shelf bookcase with stuff on there. Just stuff that I like. And this is all in one room, guys. This doesn't leak out into the hallway or in other rooms of the house. My whole idea is to have an entertainment room, but everything that I own is all in one room. None of it leaks out throughout the hallways, throughout the entire house, and this is what I got. The 4K Pioneer 55-inch TV right here. I still got to get an actual 4K player. For now, the PlayStation 5 that plays 4Ks will do just fine for now. But eventually I want to get like a laptop as well. So hopefully I can get some editing software. Maybe, we'll see. I'm not too high tech with like editing stuff, making like graphics and pictures inside the video. What would be really cool, I would love to do, is actually do a live stream reaction, do a trailer reaction with the trailer at the bottom of the screen, and so you guys could see what I'm reacting to from the trailer. That'd be really cool. I mean, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Like I said, it's technology is a little bit complex when it comes to that, but I don't think it's too hard. I don't think it's too hard until you get to really know what you're doing. So I never thought I would be able to strap a kayak down to a car until I looked at a video on YouTube and practiced and did it. It's easy. I'm pretty sure editing videos isn't that hard either. I've cropped stuff out of videos. I made videos shorter and stuff. I can do all that through the phone and stuff like that. But as like put like a video in a video like this, probably maybe a little bit different, but who knows? Shoot, what else do we got? Yeah, April Fool's Day, that live stream, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. That is going to be done tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I can never do a live stream during the daytime. Well, I can do one right now. I ain't got anything going on. This is an extra day off for me because my normal days off are Saturday and Sunday. But I took the day off because I mean, I could have went to the convention tomorrow, but it's a lot busier, and I know my one brother does not like going on Saturdays because it's really really busy, which is very very true. They can get real busy. I mean, I go to the Comic Cons on a Saturday with my other buddies, and they actually went to Indianapolis Comic Con. Allison Court, who was the original voice of Claire Redfield, I got her autograph. I actually paid my buddy the money to get it, and it's right. Can you see it up there? I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but let's see. Let me get my head out of the way. It's right there. It's right there. Right there, standing on the bookshelf right there. As you can see, that's the actress, the voice actress, and stuff like that. And yes, I took the stand that I got this phone on, and I got it close to me. So yeah, you can see a little bit of stuff right there. That's what I got. That's my desk over there. Some pretty cool stuff. There's the file shelf bookcase right down there. Or no, the TV. Sony MR autograph from Scream 5 is back there. There you can see right back to that blue thing that's sitting down like that. That's the vinyl player. It's a Krause vinyl player, plus you can do Wi-Fi with Spotify and stuff on that as well, which I think is really really cool. And here is my posters right down there. Just some cool stuff. And if you guys want to see what's on this side, there's my ring light. There's my tray. There's my bottle of water, my phone case. I'm actually filming right now on my phone, so you can see that. I don't know if you guys can see right up. Yeah, the light is blocking it a little bit, but let me go ahead. Does this hold up really well? Here's my Scream stuff right in the back there. So you got all that right there. Then you got my other flat screen TV. I use that for video gaming. I did have an actual video game monitor, but it doesn't. The screen isn't that great to view on, so I switched it over to that. So yeah, just just some fun stuff, guys. I mean, that's what we got going on here today. So let me put that back down into where it's got to be. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the entertainment room is it. I mean, there's not much stuff I can really put anything else in here. I mean, I can look at the vendors, but I don't think I'll ever buy anything, to be honest with you, unless I want to finish up my NECA, my Jason Friday 13 NECA collection, which I will. But I honestly wish. Speaking of NECA, I really wish that they would come out with the Howling Ultimate Werewolf NECA figure earlier instead of September, because Flashback Weekend in August has Joe Dante, the director of the Howling, and then Dee Wallace, who played Karen White in the film. It's going to be there. That would have been awesome to have that signed. But I'm thinking about bringing this. It's a lenticular cover, but I'm not going to have that lenticular cover signed. I'm talking about this right here underneath it. That would be really cool to have signed by them. Unless they get Belinda Volotsky and Richard Porcardo, who played Eddie Quist. He was the guy that had the 5-minute werewolf transformation. I'm hoping they get the two of them, or else I'm going to have to buy me a poster, or I can go there, and I think, they'll end up having posters from the Howling on their tables. I know Dee Wallace, I've seen her table at conventions through YouTube, and she has like a couple of posters from the Howling, which I don't know, I might pick those up depending on what size they are. I mean, I look for like 11 by 17, but Yeah, that's what I would have signed. And I'm thinking about meeting Barbara Crampton from Shopping Mall. You know, she was in that. She was in Reanimator. They got a Reanimator reunion too as well. And I believe Days of the Dead is coming back to Chicago in November, and I believe they hinted off a Return of the Living Dead reunion, which Return of the Living Dead cast has never been to Chicago. Some of them have, I think. I know John Feldman has been to Chicago, but that wasn't for Return of the Living Dead. It was for Children of the Corn reunion with him, Courtney Gaines, and John Franklin. Um, Children of the Corn, we can talk about that for a little bit here. Now, the first movie came out the year I was born, 84. I did see the sequels. I did see the sequels. To be perfectly honest with you, the second film, I think, should have been made right after the first film because it's a direct sequel, and I believe it came out in 92. And it picks up right after the events of the original film that was in 1984. Because they mention Isaac and this and that, and then you have a journalist with his son traveling to, I think it was, they were going to Gatlin or the next town over to Gatlin, and something happens, which I can't really really remember the whole plot detail. Because I would have to watch it again, but I know the girl that the one kid meets, the son of the reporter, is the girl that played the little girl in Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which was Jesse's sister in the film. I thought that was really, really cool, But as they get past that, because part 3, I believe, was supposedly set in Chicago, it really wasn't filmed in Chicago, but it's set in Chicago fictionally. And then you get to, I think it was Children of the Corn, The Gathering, which these kids start getting very, very sick and stuff like that, and all this paranormal stuff starts happening. It just got really, really whacked. The Children of the Corn stuff just got really, really whacked out of crazy. And you get the Children of the Corn 5, Fields of Terror, which you have a very young Eva Mendes. If you guys know who Eva Mendes was, I did a live stream discussion about the first Ghost Rider film. She was in that. She played Roxanne Simpson. Very, very young Eva Mendes. She was also in Urban Legends: The Final Cut as well. She was also in that. So it's really neat to see her in that. Of course, you got a little cameo of Kane Hodder in that and stuff. It's just really cool. It was all right. Children of the Corn 5, Children of the Corn 6, 666, Isaac's Return. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Let me just give me a sip here. That one, I saw that in the video store remember when we had video stores, guys? I saw that in the video store, and it says Isaac's Return. Isaac, the original leader from the group of He Who Walks Behind the Rose from the first film, returns. So I didn't watch it until it was like on one of the streaming services. I think it was either on Tubi or Pluto. I think it was on Tubi. I watched it. It doesn't explain how he survived the events of the first film. I thought he was dead, It doesn't explain. Here he is, he's sitting in like this institution, this rundown institution. He had been in a coma since the events of the first film. And I'm like, well, how did he survive? And unfortunately, you find out what happens to him, and then it's the main villain is somebody else and whatnot. And then we get to Children of the Corn. I saw Children of the Corn Runaways. Great. Didn't like that one. I believe that there was another one after that too. There was one in 2023 of a girl. It was supposed to be a reimagining of the original film. I haven't seen that either. Don't think I am going to go and see it. But I think what would be really cool is to actually have a true remake of Children of the Corn of the original 1984 one. Have a true one. Get Malachi, get Isaac, get the two characters. The doctor, I guess it was the doctor, and then the character that Linda Hamilton played. Get those characters played, but different actors playing them. give us a true remake to it. If they would do that, I don't know if anybody would want to see a true remake to the original film, but I think that would be really interesting. But you know, I honestly think that they could have just left it alone after Children of the Corn 1 and not made any sequels. I mean, that's just my thoughts on that. But I mean, the first film is scary. I mean, these kids are killing off everybody and all the adults in their town. I remember seeing the opening scene of the first film, and like last year, because I never saw it from the beginning, and it was kind of disturbing because the scene is where these adults are in this restaurant shop or malt shop, whatever you want to call it, and all these kids are in there too, and they end up locking the doors with the adults in them, and then they poison the adults, and then they kill the rest of them. And I thought, man, and then they leave this little kid, and I think they leave this little kid in there. After all that, he ends up joining the group. He doesn't want to join the group, but you find out that, you know, this goes down, that goes down, and hold on. You guys got to watch it. I think it's free on YouTube still. I'm not sure, but I think it's also, you can also watch it either on Tubi or Pluto, one of those two. I'm not really sure. I know I've seen it on there, but yeah, I honestly think that Children of the Corn, they could have done away with the sequels and just left it alone with the original film, and that was just fine. That's, you know, like I said, that's my opinion on it. I know everybody else probably thinking, oh, they could have done it, but let me know. I mean, what do you guys think of the Children of the Corn franchise? I mean, do you think that they should have left it with the original film, or do you like some of the sequels? Because the only sequel I really liked was probably the second one. But then again, too, you know, you go back, you know, it just doesn't match with the time period, because the first one was in '84, and I believe the second one was in '92, and you can tell the style of the clothing is different from both films, and it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so I've yet to meet Courtney Gaines. If I was gonna meet him, I would not meet him for Children of the Corn. I think I would meet him for The Burbs, because I've got The Burbs DVD case here. I could have him sign because he played, I believe the character of his name is Hans. Really goofy character, you know. That's who I would have. What I would have Courtney Gaines sign is The Burbs DVD case that I got. Would I meet Derek Mears, Jason from the 2009 remake? I love his performance. I have nothing against Derek Mears playing Jason, because everybody that's played Jason brought their own take on the character. I just did not like the fact that, you know, it felt too much like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 reincarnation, but with Jason in it. That's what I got from it. I mean, I've had to watch it a couple more times in order to really, really get into it and really, really like it. I'm looking more forward to Linda Cardellini playing Pamela Voorhees when the Crystal Lake Peacock series does come out. I am so hoping that we do get some news on who else is going to be in the movie or in the series. Can't wait to see what they're going to do with the young Jason. I hope we get to be able to get some backstory on him, get to know him before he actually does drown in 1957. We don't even know if it's going to be set in the 50s. It could be set in the 80s. Who knows? We don't even know. Whatever the new showrunner, I think it's Brad Michael Cain. I think I might be getting mixed up a little bit. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do with it. So I know Brad Fuller, who was the one that was originally doing the series, was going to have like 10 seasons and, you know, whatnot. But yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to see what is actually going to happen with this series. Linda Cardellini, man, whoo, man, that woman is. I've seen pictures of her. I mean, I remember her from Velma. I remember her being Velma in the Scooby-Doo movies and stuff like that. An episode of Boy Meets World, I've seen that. And I gotta tell you, I mean, it's crazy when I'm gonna say this, but you know, that woman, I believe she's Italian descent, and wow, I mean, she's I think the same age as my oldest brother, and man, does she look good. She does look good. I mean, you know, question's going to be, is Linda Cardellini going to have the blonde hair? Because we know Pamela does have blonde hair. Because we know that with the original Mrs. Voorhees, which Betsy Palmer played. Then we get to the 2009 remake, Nanan Visitor played her, and she had dark hair. But you know, if they were going to actually do if they were actually going to go ahead and do an actual remake movie of the original film, which was centered around Mrs. Voorhees doing the killing, Paula Shaw would have been a great one, because Paula Shaw played Mrs. Voorhees in Freddy vs. Jason. Go back and watch that movie, and you tell me, wouldn't she be a great replacement for Betsy Palmer, Paula Shaw? Definitely. I got, of course she looked different, but like I said, it's expected, But I mean, I felt the Mrs. Voorhees vibe there with her. It'll be really interesting to see what Linda Cardellini's portrayal is going to be like. Like I said, she can play anything. She can play anything. But I mean, to play her when she goes crazy, we're going to see that in the series. It's going to be awesome. Let that Italian temper come out, man. I'm ready for it, man. Especially seeing how crazy she can get. Because this isn't going to be on no regular TV. This is going to be on a streaming service, so they're going to go all out. Hopefully they will. I would like to see, how many seasons they're going to go. And if they go ahead and, right after Jason drowns, show what Jason was doing after he drowned. I think that would be really, really cool to see that. Was he doing killings himself at that time? No, but we don't really know. Some fans don't like the fact of the idea, hey, we don't need a backstory for Pamela. We don't need a backstory about what Jason's life was like before he drowned. I think it's a cool idea. No offense to the other fans out there. I love the first film. I love the original film. It's the one that started it all. If we didn't have this one, we wouldn't have the other sequels, guys. Look, let's face the facts here. It is what it is. So, yeah. Let me know too. What do you guys think of the Crystal Lake series? Do you think it's going to be good when it comes out? Hopefully, since we got Linda Cardellini confirmed as playing Pamela Voorhees, that things are going to go up and running. Hopefully, we don't got any setbacks that's going to set it back. But we'll have to wait and see. But I've been, like I said, guys, I've been a big diehard fan. I've said it many times with this franchise. I saw this when I was a kid, I was 4 or 5 years old. And, it was by accident, I forgot what it was, but I had family tell me, Michael, it's just a movie. Of course, Michael is my real name. Oh, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. It's none of this is real. Nobody's really getting killed off. No, nothing. So, but yeah, it's like I said, I've been a fan since I was a kid. It's something that's always stuck with me. I grew up with. And I'll tell the story again. I don't care how tired you guys get. I just love telling the story. Grandparents that were campers at a sportsman's club that's out where I go hiking and kayaking at, and that's something I could relate to. Plus, Jason's birthday is in June 13th, and my birthday is June 10th. So that's two things that I can relate to with that film. Is I love the outdoors, grew up with a big group camping, and then Jason's birthday is in the same month as mine, which I think is really, really cool. So. But yeah, it's, who would I like to meet from Friday the 13th that's a rare guest? Now, that's a good question, because there's a lot of them. I have not met anybody from Part 4 yet. I'm really surprised, like Flashback or Days of the Dead did not get a Part 4 reunion, because that was the 40th anniversary was last year. And it's just a shame that they skipped over that and they went with the Part 5 reunion, which I love Part 5. It's just as much, but you never know. Maybe we can get Judy Arrelson, because Flashback Weekend did have a Part 4 reunion quite a few years ago. That was the convention. That was the time I didn't go at that time for some reason. Either something wrong with my car or I don't know what the reason was, but that was like a while ago. But a rare Friday the 13th guest who I would love to meet. A rare Friday the 13th guest who I'd love to meet. And I'm not going to lie to you. And a lot of people don't like this final girl. And it was the first Friday the 13th I saw in theater. And we're talking about Rennie Wickman from Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Yes, Jensen Dagan. I know she doesn't do too many conventions, but it would be awesome to meet her. I know a lot of people don't like her character. I personally love the character. I'm one of those rare fans that do love the character of Rennie. You know, I think, you know, the whole thing with, you know, her, you know, losing her mom and dad in a car accident. You find it out later on in the film. She's got her controlling evil uncle Charles McCullough, who was played by the late Peter Mark Richmond. Just very, very awesome. Him being a total you know, jerk in the film. He really played it off really well. So he's a veteran actor too. Was a veteran actor too. You know, it would have been awesome to meet him too. You know, unfortunately, I won't be able to since he's passed. But I think Scarefest has got BC Dupree, Julius. You know, the boxer guy, the one that gets his head knocked off on top of the roof when he's fighting Jason. When Jason does that one hit fatality uppercut on him. I know he's at a convention. He'd be a really cool one to meet too. I always wanted to meet him. Kimberly Beck, Trish Jarvis would be another one I would love to meet as well. I wish Victor Miller would do conventions again. I would love to meet Victor Miller. Another rare one that I would also love to meet. I know he doesn't do them anymore. Would be Stu Charno, Ted from Friday the 13th Part 2, because I'm missing him on that. We're going to go on to the Scream subject here. I would love to see Courtney Cox come to a convention, and I know that line would be so damn long. It'd be so damn long. I was at Indianapolis Comic Con last year. They had Mary McDonnell, who was Kate Roberts, Joe Roberts' mother in Scream 4, the film, right? I went up there, and the volunteer that was at her table was, we had to pay the money to and stuff like that, and I handed my 11 by 17 inch Scream 4 poster, and we got into subject talking about some of the celebrities that are from the film, and we got into the subject about talking about Courtney Cox, and I know a lot of people love to complete their pieces, but she won't do them for some reason. She said it will never happen, which I think is, you know, I can see, you know, conventions with some of these celebrities, they don't want to do them. I know Ned, or Mark Nelson, who played Ned in the original Friday film, he won't do them for some reason. I just don't think they really want to get involved in a lot of that. I'm not really sure, but it'd be really cool to see Courtney Cox at a convention, because you know that line would be long, super long. I'm sure of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're almost. I'm gonna let this go for a couple minutes with this video, because I'm gonna try to make it into an hour live stream here, because I've never done an hour live stream. But yeah, another rare celebrity that would be really cool to meet. Jeez. Oh man, just trying to think of another one. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Jason Goes to Hell, but I know Adam Marcus would be awesome. I know he's doing. I think he's at one of the conventions either this summer. He's got his new. He's gonna be presenting his new documentary on Jason Goes to Hell, which is pretty cool. I think the concept of Jason Goes to Hell, to my opinion, was pretty cool. I mean, I like the fact that, yeah, he can swipe in and out of bodies. You know, you don't get to see Kane. It kind of robbed Kane Hodder a bit, because Kane Hodder really wasn't in it much. He was, you know, as Jason in the process and stuff, but he was also one of the SWAT members at the corner place, stuff like that, patting down that guy, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it is grotesque, especially when one guy starts melting and stuff after the thing goes into Robert Campbell's mouth and possesses him. That was pretty grotesque. It's pretty graphic, but I think the film was pretty cool. In my opinion, I love Steve Williams as Creighton Duke. She's only your girl because she hasn't had a taste of the Duke yet. You know, stuff like that. I just love that, and especially when Steven is wanting information about, you know, Jason and stuff, and there's a price. He breaks his fingers or something, or dislocates his fingers. You ready to pay? Are you ready to pay? Yes, I'm ready to pay. And he cracks him and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, Steve Williams was great in that film. I loved his performance as Creighton Duke. Of course, you got the great legendary actress. What's her name? Erin Gray. I was going to do an Erin Gray private signing, but since they're doing a Nev Campbell one with Dark Part Originals, I'm going to pass up on that. But Erin Gray has a small part. She plays Diana Voorhees. I believe she's considered the stepsister of Jason, because and Creighton Duke does say that Jason had a sister. Your girl's mother, Diana. My thing is, Elias must have gotten either remarried or something and had a kid with some other woman, and that was Diana, because when he was with Pamela, Elias was, this is my opinion, when Elias was with Pamela, they just had Jason. So technically, I believe, there is no proof or evidence of this, but I technically believe that Diana and Jason are step siblings, step brother and step sister. That's what I think. But without further ado, guys, that's all I got for this live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys back in the next one. Take care and be safe.